Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This week we're doing a build update. Let's get to it. After doing this top section here, for me it's time to focus on the back. Previously I had done this rear diffuser. It was a separate piece and I actually ended up joining it with fiberglass and created this offset, and I did some smoothing and things at that time. So this one should be pretty close, but again, we'll look at it with a close eye to detail. So other things I want to look at, I need to mount my rear facing camera, my rear facing dash camera somewhere. Also, when we're finishing this rear deck, it's nice and even, but you'll see right here we've got a little offset. So I need to kind of build up along this bottom edge. The other thing I want to do is I want to integrate sequential turn signals here. So I've got some already that are installed, but I've just never really put them on because I don't know where they're going to go. So to me, I need to figure that out, but my thought is I'll kind of cut a slot here, similar to what I've done in the front. All right, we worked on this trunk lid, and the whole back here is looking really good. I'm now going to focus here on the rear. And one of the things I need to do is, again, surprise, surprise, the car is not even. So I don't know why, but the shell on this side is like a lot thicker than on that side. That side's thin. So the other thing is the trunk doesn't match with that either. So I've got to, I think it's not gonna be real easy to get under here and sand this up. So it'll be easier to add on here. And yeah, we'll just see if we can blend it. If it looks too weird that this is still thick and that's thin, or if we can just blend it and it looks good enough. But yeah, so I will start with just some fiberglass, laying up several sheets of fiberglass. I'll taper it off, maybe do 1 or 2 over here. This side will probably need like 6 or 7. All right, this hairy mess, I've got it all on. I did kind of about 2 over here, 3, 4, 5, and anyway, 6 or 7 over here. So I like to leave it a little bit long, and I make sure to get some resin just on that edge because it makes it really easy to clean up. So when it's got a little bit excess, and especially if it's got resin, you just take the oscillating tool and zip right along there. So I'll kind of do that on all the sides. I'm in the process of kind of finishing out these, I'll call them rain gutters. So from here to here, we got pretty good. What it is when I made my panel gaps, I would push the filler down and it would go down a ways, but not all the ways, especially like here where it's really tall. So from here to here, it's really good. I just need to kind of finish it out. So I just need to get some filler and kind of smooth it in these areas. So I've been working on that and we'll keep you posted. All right, this is the time where I shake my head and laugh a little bit. So this one, I kept filling this part here, and this is kind of where 2 panels meet, and I kept pushing it and kind of trying to smooth it, and it just seemed like it always needed a little bit more. Well, the reason for that is the filler actually kept kind of like falling out the back. So comically, let me show you. Right there, that's all filler. And I've even got some that kind of fell onto the battery box there. I mean, that is just an insane amount. Anyway. Thought you guys could laugh at my mistakes. There's on the other side. There it is. Again, I broke the other one off too, but man, that is ridiculous. Looking at the wheel arches, there's just a couple spots that were thin. So I kind of cut them out and I'll pack them full with some fiberglass filler. I've spent the last gazillion hours trying to fix, I'll call it the rain gutters, as well as kind of shape this to kind of match here. So again, the rain gutters and like this area here, it all is very smooth, kind of ready for paint, except for I just noticed a chip And same thing over here. I'll have to fill in chip, dang it. So this guy, I added some here and over there. So now it kind of lines up here, both top and bottom. And same thing over here, top and bottom. So I think this guy is pretty close to ready. I think next I'm gonna start cutting it up again. So I need to make some holes for the rear facing camera as well as the reverse camera. And then I'm gonna make some slots for my sequential turn signals. I filled in the chip and it chipped again. So what it is this is just really close to that little protruding member. And so what I did is I just kind of shaved that one off a little bit more. So I'll kind of fill this one in again and then it should be good. But everything else is like really smooth, looking really good. All the lines look good. So I think that'll be it. I think I've decided on where I want the rear facing cameras. So I've got one that's the backup camera and the other one that's my kind of rear facing dash cam. So the backup camera I'm gonna put down here, and the rear facing camera I'm gonna put just right under the license plate. Those are kind of the two best spots that has room from the inside to mount the cameras. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill the holes and start looking at mounting. So I drilled the 2 holes. The fiberglass is quite a bit thicker in these areas than other areas. So I'm gonna have to see, maybe I need to kind of shave off some from the inside so it can be a little more flush mount. But I'll kind of check out the 2 locations and see what it looks like. All right, I forgot this backup camera has lights. So when I go in reverse, it shines so I can kind of see behind me. So I cut out a hole that's just big enough for this, but I'm thinking I may want to mount this whole camera unit kind of down here. Took the backup camera off the license plate and I drilled the hole way down here. And my thought was I was going to put the camera in from behind. This is rather thick though, and that is rather thick, so it'd be quite recessed. I'm thinking about just mounting it again with this bracket. That's, I think, what I'm going to try. Because again, this is like, I'm going to call it ankle level. I don't know that anybody can ever really see this unless they get down kind of on their knees. So I think this is going to be the easiest way to mount it. So that's what I'm going to do. I got things mounted. I think I'm going to like this. Again, this is a relatively low car as it is. This kind of comes up to about my thigh. So again, this is kind of more knee level and got to come all the way down to like ankle level. So I think that'll work good. All right, that's kind of what it looks like. I've got to kind of finish it up a little bit. It's about as flush as I think I can make it, but I'll see what I can do to kind of dress it up. All right, I punched out a hole. I even took a little Dremel tool and tried to put bevel on it, just so when this kind of pushes through, it kind of, I think, dresses it up a little bit. So we'll kind of cut out this so it can be on the back side of the car. For the rear-facing dash cam, I've got a piece of kind of steel, the angled steel here, and it's gonna go like this. I'm gonna drill some holes in this. This has just got some adhesive, but I'll drill some holes, fasten that to this, and then this angled piece I'll fasten to the license plate holder. I'll show you that. All right, here's the back. I still need to clean up some wires, but basically I've got a screw here and one over there. So I'll drill 2 holes in this piece, and then that'll kind of keep it to the car, and I'll keep the camera to the car in the right location. All right, this camera is also mounted, so we got both cameras mounted. I'll show you the inside of this one. All right, we just have this piece of stock here, the metal stock. These are the bolts for the license plate, and made a little, I guess, put 2 holes in here to mount the camera and had a little spacer. But this is all very rigid, and I think that'll work well. So I'll probably disassemble this, kind of clean this one up, give it a coat of paint, but then I think it's done. So I took out the taillight housing because I need to paint. Also took out the grill. The taillight housing though has a little issue. So I noticed when I took it out, it had a little hairline crack. So I'm repairing that. I kind of enlarged it and then filled it in with the fiberglass resin, and now it's kind of setting up. What that means though is I need to then kind of re-dip this. So the other one I've kind of already started roughing up in preparation for kind of the base coat of paint before we do the dip. So I'll let this cure up, do the same thing, rough it up, and get it ready to dip. We got things re-dipped and a coat of the 2K clear. Things look really good. Okay, we are just about done with the sanding. We did the guide coat and kind of did the 80 grit, the 150 grit, 220. Got all the rain gutters and everything up here fixed. So I think everything is kind of sanded. Got this kind of profiled and everything. So the next part before we're kind of done is to kind of make some slots for the sequential turn signals. I cut out a slot. It's still pretty rough, but I put the sequential turn signal in there and also just kind of temporarily put the other light housing in. So I'm going to turn on the car and see what it looks like. I don't know about you, but I think that looks really good. I'm really liking that. The only thing I can do, I have to think on this one, but I can have it so I've got a little more length. So I could have it wrap around a more, like, so kind of come down and around or go around that way, or I could just leave it. So I'll have to think on that one. So I'm leaning towards just leaving it. I've kind of tried to map some things out, to have it go around the side or around here, and I don't think I like it quite as much as this. So I'm gonna leave this for now. I need to kind of really clean up this cut. So I'll probably sand it a whole bunch and then need to do some filler, but then I'll do it also to the other side. There it is, got it on both sides. Looks really good. I'll try out the blinkers. I really like it. We'll clean it up, and I think the last thing will be kind of to try and put the primer on. I sanded the slot fairly smooth, and now I'm gonna make it even. So I'm gonna get, I put some rubber in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put filler kind of top and bottom, so I've got a nice even gap all the way around. When that cures up, we'll sand it flat. Then I think it's ready for primer. Okay, so I sanded all of it away, kind of 220 and all the other places as well that I've kind of touched up. So I think this is ready for the primer. I'm gonna do what I've not done before, and I'm gonna try to mask things off a little better. So in the past, I've just kind of had my spray paint and I'll have a piece of cardboard that kind of tries to block things, and it's been pretty awful, to be honest, but I've just been impatient. But this time I feel like as I'm getting closer to real paint, I need to kind of start some of these practices, make sure that I know all the ins and outs and what can go wrong and all that stuff. So I'm going to take some time, mask it off, and do a layer of primer. All right, I was gonna paint this in two sections. One is with the trunk open, so I can kind of do the rain gutters. So I kind of did all that around, as well as on the side and this underside, the other side of the trunk lid. So I started out with the blue tape and just a painter's tape, and it's pretty lousy. So I don't know if you guys have some recommendations, but I kind of wanted to get everything just perfect so I could just spray away, and it just doesn't hold very well. And I realized my car may not be the cleanest, but I tried to clean it so it'd stick better, but like it kept on falling off and falling off and falling off. So eventually I just tried to do the blue tape just to kind of get a nice clean edge and then have something behind it so I could just spray and not get any overspray. But even there, as I was spraying this, just the kind of the force of the spray blew the tape off in a couple areas. It kind of made me a little bit mad. It's like right over here. So it just kind of blew the tape off and then just got a little white mist all over there. See that? It just fell off right there. So yeah, if you guys got some hints, let me know. But I'll let this kind of set up for a little bit. I'll close the trunk, and I've got to do a little bit of the top of the trunk as well as kind of this whole back. Okay, took a quick look, had lots of little spots to fill here and there. So we will kind of sand this up a little bit, put another layer of paint on this segment, and then we'll kind of close it and do the top as well as the back. All right, I focused on the underneath part. So I got it taped off, put some paper there to kind of prevent any overspray. And for the most part, I think it looks really good. I kind of went a little heavy right here, so I'll probably need to kind of sand that a little bit to make it smooth. But yeah, I mean, looks really good. Kind of, I think, all along here. One spot I probably should do is like up underneath here, because once I get on top, it'll probably be harder. So maybe I'll do that real quick. There weren't like hardly any pinholes back here, which is pretty amazing. So I think there was just one right there. But really there's like, it's pretty remarkable because everywhere else in the car, seemed like they seem to come in patches. So anyways, this is really good. We're gonna let this set up. I'm gonna let both, what I did up there as well as down here, I'll let this set up overnight, and then I'll kind of close that and do on top and around the back here. I think that'll do it. I have such a hard time not being a perfectionist. It seems like the more you look at it, the more little defects and faults you find. So at some point, you just kind of have to say, you know what, that's good enough. It's never going to be perfect. And so we're going to move on. I am somewhat painting this in sections. So I had to lift up so I could kind of paint underneath. Now I'm kind of just doing across this back bumper area, and then I'll lower it further and do up around here. Masking sucks. If you guys got suggestions, let me know. Every now and then I get a glimpse and think, I really am working on a supercar. This is amazing. I will also ask, as we're getting closer to paint, let me know which paints I should be using. So if there's specific brands, types, things like that. Stores, brands, I already said brands. It's getting exciting. We just had a few places that needed the filler. So we'll kind of sand those and just touch up the paint there. And then I think we're about done. There it is, all done. Looks really good. Again, the new slots, just having an even coat of white on everything looks good. What I really want to do is I just want to put the taillights in with the sequential turn signals and probably just take it out in the neighborhood. I just kind of want to see what it looks like on the road. It looks so good. So I got things kind of put back together. Got the camera underneath, the backup. So that's the backup camera. This is the rear facing dash cam. I kind of put the light housings back in, the grills back in. So now I'm going to put the tires on, kind of just take it outside. I don't know what the term is called, but the LEDs, they end up having kind of a refresh rate, and in the lighter light, it just looks like it flickers. So I had to wait till the dimmer light gets you some good shots. I had a 50-50 chance of mounting the camera. I didn't mark it, and I mounted it upside down. So this is the reverse cam. So I just need to flip that one, and then I'll also check my video from the rear-facing dash cam and see how that looks. Why is it that when there's a 50-50 chance, you always get it wrong? So for me, I had both the reverse camera, so reversing camera, and the rear-facing dash cam, and they're somewhat symmetrical. So when I took them off, did all the work, then when I went to remount them, I was like, oh crap, I don't know which way. 50-50 chance, both of them upside down. I'm really loving this. For me, it's hard to believe that I did any of this. So. Before, this had this kind of, it went out and back as well as the fender was flat. So I flared the fender, kind of reprofiled all this, and again, I think it looks great. It's hard to imagine that it was even like that. Also, in the day, you can probably see in the video, but it's really hard to even see that there's a slit here. But I really like the look that it gives. So I'm really pleased. All right, so you might be thinking we are close to done, ready to paint. We are very close to done. So we started at the front, kind of worked our way back, and that was the back. So the only things we have left is I still need to do the wing as well as the doors. Now when I say the doors, we've done the outside. I need to do kind of underneath and on the inside. So after we get those two things, I think this is going to be pretty much ready for paint. All right, that does it for this week. See you next time.